Hey people, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day, wherever you are, good whatever it is in your location.
We're happy to flag this off this evening. This time 4 p.m. GMT, 4 o'clock GMT. Irish
Somebody
time,
said we're
yes.
confusing them by saying GMT.
Yeah,
So Irish time, whatever
time,
Irish time is on your clock,
yeah.
that is the time. That's 4 o'clock. It could be 2 at your location. It could be 7 a.m. Whatever time it is at your location now. Well, in Ireland, it is 7. It is 4 p.m.
It's 4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. It's
It's
4
4
p.m. in
p.m.
Ireland. It's 4 p.m. in Britain. It's 4 p.m. in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Yes, so we welcome you to DY Relationship Clinic live seminar, the first in its series.
The first in its series. And as you join in, share.
Yes.
Begin to share this live broadcast with your friends. If you have friends who are not already members of the DY Relationship Clinic group, add them on. Let them become friends and members so that they can also benefit from whatever it is that we discussed today. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of bringing live to you Ibadiaro. I know everywhere I go, people always ask, how is Ibadiaro? How is Ibadiaro here and there? Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you live on DY Relationship Clinic live seminar. Ibadiaro here for you.
And this is my my one and only, my super duper, Mr. Do as I like. And people will be like, hey, this one talks like this. This man makes me talk rubbish. When you say rubbish.
And you know the kind of rubbish we're talking about. Not the rubbish. You know, the skin rubbish.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
good people, it's really good to be with you. This is a long time coming.
Yeah.
And what we intend to do here every week, please God, is to talk about issues that affect us as married people and as single people who are looking forward to having a happy home at some stage in our life.
And also to talk about issues that will help us, not only issues that affect us, issues that will help us to have good relationship, to have good marriage, to enjoy relationships, to enjoy our marriage.
Do you know, when we get married, nobody knows how marriage will be. Nobody gives you a manual and says, this is the marriage manual and this is what is going to happen. So when you get stuck, you go to page 57 and this is how you handle childbearing.
Yeah.
Or this is how you handle those times when your husband comes home and shouts at you.
Everybody just picks up marriage from where their parents, where their aunties, their uncles, where they left it for them. They just pick it up from there. You know, they just copy and paste everything that happened in the marriages of their parents or of their uncles or their aunties that they have lived with at some point. They just picked up from there. And that's why you have today people saying, this is how my father did it. This is how my mom taught me. You know, it's not as if your mom sat you down and said, when this happens, this is what happens next. You just watch what happened. And so everything that had gone wrong in their marriage is also going wrong in your own.
I actually love what you said, Val, about copy and paste. That's an interesting one. A lot of people have copied and pasted, just taking on from where the parents had left off. Exactly what you said. This is how my father did it. This is how my father treated my mother. My father never taught me how to take a woman to a restaurant. I know this from my father.
My father never kissed my mother.
Did your father teach you how to kiss? Yet you know how to kiss.
Yeah,
You know how to kiss.
a lot don't kiss. They say my father never kissed my mother.
They are just liars.
All right, so
how can they say they don't kiss? They kiss the girlfriends, don't they?
All right, so this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you are, we're going to flag off this seminar, the first of its kind. We're going to flag off with this topic. You know, we put up information, we put up one clip. We ask that you should tell us, suggest topics for us. And we got somebody suggested communication. So this time we're going to start with communication in marriage. And, you know, for starters, I'll tell you, communication is like oxygen to your marriage. Without communication, there is no marriage, there is no relationship. So when I said this, just check your marriage. Look at it very well. Look at what is happening to your marriage. Is your marriage really, really where you want it to be? Something must be good with communication in that marriage. Is your marriage lacking something? Is your marriage not where you want it to be? Are you having problems? Let me tell you, the oxygen of that marriage is communication.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've heard a lot of people say that I try to avoid trouble. I try to avoid problems. Anytime my spouse comes home and is trying to start off trouble, I just keep quiet and I don't say anything. Well, And some people think that that is a solution to the problem. It actually is sweeping the issue under the carpet. And the day, imagine when you're doing house cleaning and then you raise up your carpet in your living room and you see a heap load of dust and dirt. And you expect, and this is to be taken care of by maybe your daughter or your son who sweeps the house every morning, or your maid. And then you find this. You can imagine how upset you will be. It's exactly the same thing you're doing when you're not talking about it, and then you're just sweeping them under the carpet because you're trying to avoid trouble in the marriage, because you don't want to communicate or you don't want to cause trouble, so you don't want to talk about it. It's important to talk about things that you know will affect your relationship. Val and I when we started off, for me, it was a bit of a challenge talking about things. I'll be very honest with you. And this is one of the things we'll be doing here, talking about, how we overcame challenges like this.
And I tell you what, till the end of the world, communication will still be the biggest problem on earth in relationships, in marriage. Let me tell you, when I say communication, some people will be excited now. They say, oh, we do communicate very well. I tell you, one of the most problematic issues in marriage, in relationship, is communication. We can never, ever get over communication and not have good marriage. If you get over the problem of communication, if communication is smooth in your marriage, in your relationship, you will get every other thing right. So we're going to be talking about communication in this seminar today. We're going to be talking about why it's problematic, how can we overcome the problems, what can we do if communication is not going on well, and what is communication essentially. Those are the things we're going to be talking about. But let me tell you, we acknowledge everyone that has joined us, and those that will still be joining us. We see everyone there.
I see Shoyoye, I see Olukemi, Oluwakemi, Taye, Abeleshidogba. Hi, we'll see you there.
We see you.
We'll see you, and we'll see your comments. We'll come to them all later on.
Yeah, we'll come to them all later on.
And link your friends in now. Just add them on onto this. Share with them. Share on your own timeline as well. And let your friends who are not members of the group, let them see what's going on in the group. And
we also want to acknowledge those who are just by the corner. They are watching and they are not typing. They are not saying anything yet. We know you are right there. We know how you follow things on DY Relationship Clinic without your comments, without liking and everything. But we want to encourage you. Once you are here, just like, just comment, just register your presence. Let us know that you are here.
Absolutely. Something you say might just make a difference in someone's life. Can I just say something here? And we say this everywhere we go when we speak at conferences and seminars. We're not here to teach anybody.
No.
We're not here to tell anybody that we're the super dupers in marriage. No. We've had our fair share of challenges. And the reason we're sitting here and the reason we have DY Relationship Clinic is because God has helped us through the grace of God. We've been able to overcome these challenges. And we're coming to say to everyone who listens, Raymond, we see you, you're welcome aboard. And we're here to say to everyone who listens that you can overcome your challenges. If we could overcome all of the difficulties we encountered, and I tell you, those were some really trying times. If we overcame, you surely can overcome. So don't despair. That's what we're doing with this. That's what we do with DY Relationship Clinic. And we also learn along the line when we speak to people at seminars and at conferences and workshops. Take on board what people say, and we learn from that, and that enhances our marriage as well.
Yes,
and we learn every day.
And in that case, we're saying that when you are around here, you join us on this seminar. Just don't sit down there. We want to learn from you too. We want you to also talk. We want you to say what you feel about communication, what you know about communication. We want to learn from you. We don't want you to just sit back there and think, oh, whatever they say, that's it. We also want to hear what you feel about it. Because let me tell you, God and people have helped us to make our marriage better.
Absolutely.
In as much as we want to help you also to make your marriage better, we're also waiting for you to make contributions too. Our marriage has been very good, very good, very good. But we want to continue to be good, to be better, and get to our best before we leave this earth.
Absolutely.
And so we wish that for you too. Absolutely. So we're saying we want to share with you. We also want you to share with us. Thank you. James.
How did the voice start?
They'll say, Badiana, Badiana. That's 5 times?
5 times.
5 times, yeah.
What does that even mean? I have no idea what that even means.
Let's give that to them.
Anyway,
yes.
So, to communication, our topic for today. why is communication important in a marriage?
Yes.
Or for any relationship?
Very good. Relationship, like I said, it's the oxygen. It's like oxygen to you. You know, you need oxygen to breathe. You need communication to be able to go through a relationship. Now, when you start a relationship, for the relationship to go on, communication is very, very important. Number one, you want to know what is in my mind, what is in your mind. You want to bear it out. I was talking to a young people recently, and I see these two people, they're so much like each other. And I asked them, when you are together, what do you say? Oh, he said, oh, I love it when he tells me he likes me. I love it when he tells me he loves me, when he buys things for me, and so on. All those are fine. But let me tell you, when we're talking about communication, I love you or you love me, that is not even what I'm talking about. That is not what I'm talking about. Because I can tell you, I love you when
million times.
Yeah, million times.
And there are issues in the heart.
There are issues in the heart.
Yeah.
So communication helps us to understand exactly where are we at, where are we coming from, and where are we going. So if I don't know what is in your mind, I cannot know how to relate with you. I don't know what you like. I don't know what you have done. I don't know what you want to do. So I don't even know what you want me to do. Okay? So communication.
Very key. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yes.
Because sometimes we assume that we know what the other person wants from us.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas we don't. So communication helps us know what the other person expects of us and what they want us to do.
So,
very key.
Yeah. So when you start a relationship, funny enough, when people start a relationship, the first thing in their head is, can I trust this person? Do I even trust? Does he even trust me? Now you have just only started a relationship. You don't even know anything about each other, and you are talking about trust. Where do you get trust from? Okay? And when you get disappointed at some point, you then say, oh, I can never trust him again. I can never trust her again. You have not started anything. You have not started anything. What have you talked about? What have you communicated across to each other? How well have you been able to pass your mind to the other person, or to open your mind to the other person? How well are you able to know what is in the other person's mind? And all this cannot happen if we don't communicate.
Okay, Vance, you know what I want us to do now to make it easier for people who are listening? Let's highlight, like a sort of breakdown for people. Steps. I don't want to call it steps really, because
because we don't do steps.
I don't like all the 10 steps to and 5 steps to kind of thing is. But let's look at 1, 2, 3 ways by which people can become more effective in communication in their relationship.
Yeah, I will say the essentials of communication. Some basic things that have to go on for you to know that, oh, you are communicating well. And let me tell you, communication basically is a two-way thing. Communication is listening and talking. Basically, that's the basic. Okay?
The hardest one is the listening part.
Yeah, well,
it's easy to talk. It's very hard to listen.
That's the harder part. I'll tell you the hardest part at some point. Now, talking, it's hard. Listening is harder. Now, the hardest is being truthful. Okay, so what are we talking about? That's the hardest. It's so hard to talk. Do you know some people find it difficult
to
express themselves, to talk to their lovers, to talk to their husband, to talk to their wives?
That happens for a lot of reasons, though. I remember when we started, I'll use us a lot. When we started, I used to have a challenge telling Val how I felt. I used to find it challenging to express myself and tell him what was going on in my mind. And one of the many reasons was I didn't want to upset you. And I know a lot of people go through that as well. They're thinking in their mind, if I say this, he's going to be upset, especially women. If I say this to him, he's going to be upset. He's going to be thinking, why is she bringing this up? You don't even know if that's the same thing going on in his mind, but you're already thinking and assuming for him. And thank God I was able to overcome that. As we got to understand each other, and I got to understand you more, you got to understand me more.
So
I was able to overcome that.
That's between us. But let me tell you, till tomorrow, some people are still afraid to upset their partner. So they keep things to themselves.
And they die in silence.
Especially women. You know, I always say this.
People say women talk a lot. Women talk, oh, they talk. But I say it every time when I stand, to talk about related issues in seminars and conferences. I say that in reality, women find it difficult to say their minds. They don't really say their mind. They just talk most times to while away time, to feel good.
But they don't actually talk about the main issue.
Exactly. That's so important for you to be able. It's so important for you to be able to express yourself. Yeah, it is possible that in expressing yourself you might upset someone. Okay, but look, it's okay to upset that person. Then you sort things out. But if you don't speak your mind, you are not helping yourself and you are not helping your partner.
It's like I always say, there is no one person on earth who, when you tell them that they've done something wrong, that they will be excited and they start jumping for joy.
Yeah.
Anybody you tell they've done something wrong, they will be upset.
Yeah.
So it's better to speak about it and deal with the issue.
So while I'm at this, I'm just going to recognize somebody here. Ted. How are you? Yeah, I see you here. And you said something that is really...
We see you.
Yeah.
She know I know.
Yeah.
See you.
Something that's really key here. He said true communication helps you to feel the heart of the other person, of your partner. That is true communication. You remember the third thing that I said is most difficult. We're talking about talking. These are the three things we're going to talk about in communication today. Talking, listening, and being truthful. So when you communicate truly, then you will be able to feel the heart of your partner. Your partner will be able to feel your heart. How do you feel about this thing? For example, when you are offended, can you be able to say to your partner, you did so, and I didn't like it? Can you feel free to say it, and say it freely and say it nicely? So we said one of the difficult things in communication is talking. Now, what makes it difficult? Number one, the person that you are talking to, the person you want to talk to, might make it difficult for you. You might not willing to.
You kind of put a barrier up, and
yes,
you already see that sign. I don't want to talk.
I don't want to talk. So you need to find a way around making talking easy. Make it easy to talk. Both of you, and again, let me also quickly say this. If a relationship is working out well, if a marriage is having problems, it is the problem of the two people in that relationship or that marriage. I don't want people to say, oh, it's my wife that is so stubborn. It's my husband that is so difficult. It's the two of you. You have to find a way around it. So if talking becomes difficult, find a way around making it easy. Because if you cannot talk, there cannot be communication.
Okay, maybe we do a little bit of a breakdown with that, Val. And when you're talking to your spouse, you must remember that you're not talking. You want to bring up an issue that has happened. You're not talking to your enemy. The how matters. How are you relaying the issue? A lot of us are already upset. And so we come to the table with an upset mind. And that affects, we are angry, and that affects the way we want to relay an issue.
And sometimes not only angry, bitter.
Absolutely. So we come with that mind of bitterness. So how do you expect then that the person you want to tell that they've done something that is wrong?
And some even come judging. Now, for example, you say, well, I want to say this, I know you will not listen. Oh, no, that's not nice.
So if you know he's not going to listen, then why say it? Or if you know she's not going to listen, why go there in the first place?
Yeah.
But if you both remember that you're friends, you're not just husband and wife, you're also friends, then you want to speak to your friend. I always say this. A lot of us who are married cherish our friendships outside the home more than we cherish our marriages, which is absolutely wrong.
That's why I'm going to borrow a leaf from Nina Nakodia Abubakar. It says respecting each other. So when you want to talk from point of respect, not rudely, not judging your partner. Not, of course, not afraid, not being afraid, but you want to be respectful. You want to also respect yourself. Okay, the way I want to talk to this person, if he talks to me like that, if she talks to me like that, how do I feel? So you want to come talking from the point of view of somebody who actually wants to be listened to.
Absolutely. So when you come to the table, how would you like to be treated when when you're talking to the person, that's the way you should also treat the person. You want the person to listen to you. So you are there to deal with the issue, not the person.
Not the person, yes.
If
God,
the issue,
God bless
yes,
you.
if the issue is the fact, I use something very simple. If the issue is the fact that your spouse goes out late and goes out very early and comes back extremely late, and you want to deal with it, so you deal with the issue of lateness, not with your spouse. Because in your mind, I remember those years back, it took me a good while to actually come to terms with the fact that this man is a good man. He's a good person, and it was the issues I needed to deal with, not with him. If I was dealing with him based on the things he was doing, then I would be dealing with him, making him look like a bad person. But here was a good person who was doing something that wasn't so good. So what we dealt with then were the issues, and it was same with me as well. Every time he spoke with me and I did something wrong, he will deal with me as a friend who had done something he didn't like, and then speak to me in like manner, and that's how we developed our communication.
So then
we started to learn to talk properly to each other.
If you want to be able to communicate properly, you want to recognize that you are
With your friend.
your friend whom you love so much
Has offended you, or has done something, or there is something we need to talk about.
It might not even be something that is bordering on offense. It might be something you want, or something you want both of you to do. So whatever it is, whether it's a problem, whether it's an issue, whether it is a matter of what you want to do, you want to come from the point of view of somebody who wants to be listened to. And from then, I want to let us quickly move on to listening. You know, we cannot exhaust talking. Thank you very much, Lina. I really, really appreciate that. Raymond, you talked about saying sorry. We'll come to that. There is a point where we need to come to that discussion. Thank you very much. So, listening. Let me tell you, my wife, as soon as I said listening, she said, that is the most difficult. And I said it's not the most difficult, but it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Yeah, like she always say, we all want to be a good speaker.
Yeah, everyone.
A good talker, yeah.
We
want a great
and we're
speaker.
taught how to speak.
We are taught how to
But
speak.
who teaches us how to listen?
How to listen. Nobody even nobody wants to aspire to be a good listener. Everybody just wants to be a good talker, a good speaker. You want to be a great, whether motivational or inspirational speaker or anything.
Or something speaker.
You don't know that it is important to be a good listener. And listening is, I know the first area where you will be taught how to listen is when you're in the area of psychology. Especially if you are doing counseling, if you are doing psychiatry or something, you will know that it is important to be able to give the speaker a moment where what you will do is just listen. Listen. And it requires learning. So it's very, very important. And I said listening is very difficult. And you would all agree with me. I want to see somebody come up here in your comments to say, yeah, I agree with you. If you truly agree with me that listening is very, very important, and it's also difficult for people to learn. People don't even want to learn it. They don't aspire to learn it. But let me tell you, for you to have a very good communication, you have to learn the act of listening. And let me give you an example. For example, you have telephone conversation between you and somebody, and the person who is talking there is just talking, and the line is not good. It is possible that somebody is talking to you on the phone and the line is not good. The person that is talking to you on the phone will not know that the line is not good if you don't say anything.
Absolutely. They just think that you're not either not paying attention or you're distracted or you don't want to talk to them.
So the line may not be good. So, and listening is not the same as hearing.
Absolutely.
The person is talking and you are hearing, but if you are listening very well, you will know that the line is not good and something needs to be done. And when the line is not good, can communication be good?
No.
Can I be able to pass anything to you on a line that is not good?
It's like what we learned in communication class and mass communication. There's a message and it's coded when it's out, there's a decoder. The decoder has to be able to decode the message. But if you did communication in school, you would understand what I'm talking about. It has to be properly decoded.
Thank you.
So in order for it to be well decoded, you actually have to listen right.
Thank you.
To get the message. What is my partner or my spouse trying to tell
me? Thank you. So listening is different from hearing. Before I go further on that.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'll tell you how I got to know that. I'll tell you who taught me how to listen. Hang on, pal.
Hold on. Let me just thank Lena, because Lena is following us quite very well. He said expressing each other and throw away malice. That's malice. Okay, but what actually got me is when you said, well, to me, all communication requires a good listening ear.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Good listening. So I said listening is different from hearing. And it fired something up in you.
Yes. I'll tell you how I got to know how to listen from my little son. He was just about 4 at the time. He's 9 now. He was just about 3, 4. And I was in the kitchen. I was cooking. And he was trying to tell me something that had happened in school. And I was just nodding my head. And he kept talking and I was nodding. I was saying, And he said, Mom, can you hear me? I'm like, yeah. Carry on, I can hear you. And he said, but you're not listening. I stopped in my tracks and looked down at him and like, I can hear you. He said, yes, I know you can hear me, Mommy, but you're not listening. Yeah. And for a second, I stopped and realized I could hear his voice. I'm actually keeping quiet for a reason. Now, there's music in the background. You can hear that. But when I keep quiet, then you were listening to it.
But before you got quiet, all they were listening to was you.
All you could hear was music in the background. But when I kept quiet, then you could listen to the music.
Yes.
So that's how listening works. Listening is deliberate.
Deliberate, yes.
It's very deliberate. You don't just hear the sound of the person's voice. You hear every single word they're uttering, and you try to decipher every word. And when you don't understand it, you ask for clarity.
So Jimmy said, listening skill should be inculcated into the marriage. Absolutely. Now, I will help you rephrase that, Jimmy. Thank you very much for that. And I will say listening skill should be inculcated into us. Into us. Because the ones who make the marriage. Absolutely. You know the way people say marriage is so difficult, marriage is so bad, I don't like marriage. It is not difficult. Marriage is not difficult. It is us.
We're the people in the marriage. If we're difficult, then the marriage is going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult.
We're going to face challenges. So things are difficult.
Yes.
Yes. And somebody.
That is Jimmy Matomi. He said listening skills should be inculcated.
Ted is saying, you keep saying sorry. Keep your sorry to yourself. I'm tired of your sorry. That happens a lot. It happens a lot
because you see we will come to that's another topic on its own. I don't even want to break into it because I'm so hot on this listening, on this communication matter. You know, we've talked about listening. We'll come to a time when we'll be taking all your contributions one by one. But I'm just coming to them as they relate to that particular thing I'm saying now. So I'm still talking about listening. You know, I said listening is different from hearing. Like if you are in a room and there are many people in the other room and they are talking, you will be hearing them. But all you'll be hearing is noise. Now, if
you want to hear,
if you want to listen
to them, then you pay
deliberate attention.
Like what are they saying?
So to achieve good communication, we have talked about talking. Listening is very, very essential. You have to be able to pay attention to the person who is talking to you. And that is deliberate, as my wife said. It's deliberate. You have to say, okay, I want to hear you now. And the moment you start hearing, begin to listen. Don't just hear. When you are listening, you don't just hear. You will be listening and you'll be digesting. Now, there's one fault I want to underline here in listening. A lot of people listen to reply. They listen to respond. They don't listen to understand what somebody is saying. Becky, Ginla, thank you very much. Oh, how are you? I know who's there now. You said you're just watching this program for the first time. We are also just coming on air for the first time. You have not missed much, but I can assure you, you will be able to go back and see all that you have missed. You will replay.
Yes.
Very
30 minutes in, so
yes.
you can replay later on.
Yeah, Raymond, you said be kind and be friendly to each other. That's what my wife said. Remember that you're talking to your friend. Your friend is talking to you. So be nice and listen. And don't just listen to reply. Don't say, for example, to listen to reply, talk to me.
Okay, so I just want to tell you about what
I know what you want to say. I know everything you want to say. So you don't need to tell me.
But I haven't even said.
That is an offense. You don't just cut somebody and say, no, don't worry, I know what you want to say. You don't know what he or she wants to say.
You have no idea.
Be civil enough, be nice enough to listen, be respectful enough to just listen.
That used to happen to us.
Yeah, we said most of the things we're going to be talking on this in this seminar, on this program. There are things that have happened to us. We're going to be talking from experience. If you see Deji Adenuga and Yemi Adenuga today, and you think, oh, these are beautiful couples, these are nice couples, you need to walk in our shoes and see how hurtful it was in those days. But we thank God. And what am I saying here? If it was so hurtful then, and we're happy now, we've been happy for years.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be happy for years also.
Amen.
If also enjoy your own marriage. Thank you very much, Jumoke Matomi. It's okay to share it, but invite your friends also to bring them to be members of DY Relationship Clinic. Honorable Afis Rufa, thank you very much. So I have talked about
listening. We're still on listening, I don't want us to leave listening yet because it's something I want to bring up.
Yeah.
And I want us to kind of address it.
Yeah.
When people are listening, you said when people listen, a lot of the times they listen to respond because it's like a defense mechanism. They want to be defensive. The minute somebody brings something up, their mind is already made up like, okay, I know what you're going to talk about and I know how I'm going to respond to you. So and they feel like it's an attack. When somebody brings something up to you, especially if they have played it, I can assure you that for a lot of wives, before they go to their husbands, especially wives who respect their husbands, and not fear now. I don't like it when people become afraid of their spouse. There's something else going on there, you know. But when people respect you, I'm speaking to the men now. When your wife respects you, and then I can guarantee you that she's processed the words 1,000,000 times in her head before she comes to you. She's looked at different ways to present it to you without upsetting you. She's thought about, okay, maybe I start like this or I start like this and I say it this way. And she's actually preempted your possible reaction before coming to you. So if she comes to you, or if it's the other way around, because of course there can be men as well who find it challenging to bring up issues with their wives. If whoever it is that is speaking to the other person, don't become defensive. Val always says something that if somebody tells you they are upset, no matter what it is they've said, it simply means that they are upset. Whatever it is they say to you that you're upset about, there's just one thing there that is the bottom line. They are upset about something and you have caused that upset. So before
knowingly or unknowingly,
whether knowingly or unknowingly, before you go round to addressing the person or how they have presented their argument, first of all, deal with the issue. What have they said you have done? What have you been accused of? Let me know you go say accused before then they start putting up a defense.
What is the issue being put on the table? And
then you deal with the issue. Once you've dealt with the issue, you can now go back to talking with the person.
The first thing, the most important thing here, the first thing in dealing with the issue is, first of all, take responsibility. Now, I'm saying take responsibility. You want to ask me, so what if I didn't do that thing? Listen, the person had said you did it. Okay, so you need to take responsibility. You need to calm that person down first. And I can assure you, the best way to calm that person down is to say, okay, I'm sorry. Hold on, You didn't do it. You know that you didn't do it, but that person doesn't know that you didn't do it. So you cannot say, come on, don't tell me I didn't do it. Of course I did. He won't listen. She won't listen. So when he said, oh, you pushed me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just using that as an example. Oh, I'm sorry. I pushed you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Then the person will say, oh, okay, that's okay, that's okay. You see, it's actually okay. The person said it's okay. Now, let me ask you, what is offensive in it's okay? You have helped to make the whole situation to be okay. And again, don't forget, you did not push that person who said you pushed him. And you know, outside our marriage, we are quick to say, oh, I'm sorry. But at home, even the things we did, we will still be proving, no, I didn't do it.
Do you know what you've just raised there, Val, is one of the biggest challenges that a lot. Just last week, I was speaking with a lady who wanted to come in for mentorship, and she was saying that she struggles with hearing her husband being praised as a fantastic man out there, that he's a good listener, he's very helpful, he's quick to apologize when he does something wrong, when she visits him at work, he is the best man you could ever meet. But at home, she finds it difficult to even raise one issue for them to talk about. And so she cannot reconcile the man at work and the man at home, the man she is with.
Just hold on there. The man is with.
Yeah.
That's the one that's where you stopped. Cash flow, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lina. You are still with us. Wale Adenuga, thank you very much. God bless you. You're welcome. Mark Garba, I saw what you wrote, Mark Garba. You said a lot of people like to call direct. I can assure you that from next program, from the next seminar,
we'll have a line.
We'll have a line. People will be able to call us and speak to us directly. We just want people to enjoy this. We want them to tell us how much they enjoy it, and people are already telling us. Yeah, Bome Pressy, thank you very much. She agrees that it's a nice show. Jumi Matomi, thank you. You are still there.
We shouldn't be defensive.
Yeah.
That's it.
We shouldn't be defensive, especially when we remember and recognize that who we are dealing with is our friend.
Okay, here's another thing, Val. A lot of couples don't see themselves as friends. They just husband and wife.
Yes.
I know that's another topic. Friendship. We're going to actually talk about that as another topic at some stage. Friendship in marriage. But it is important, in order for you to be able to listen, you have to be friends. And it goes back to what I said earlier on, that a lot of people are greater friends with their friends outside the home than they are with their spouse. They're not friends.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine not being your friend. I cannot imagine you just being my husband. We probably would never talk.
You want to take out the oxygen in me?
And I'm not being cheeky here. I'm actually being honest, because one of the things that I discovered over the years was, even at times when we had difficulties and we had challenges, I didn't want to talk to him as my husband.
Yeah.
I was very upset with him. I would be very upset with him as my husband. I'll be thinking in my head, what kind of husband is this one? I can't even talk to him. But I will miss my friend.
Yes.
And I will want to talk to my friend.
Even though the husband is still there, performing the husband duty,
you're still
performing your wife's duty, but your friend.
So then that would be the connection.
Exactly.
You know, wanting to talk to my friend, because he's my gossip partner. He's the person I tell everything to and trust everything
and
to.
we've been like that even before I said to you,
yeah,
would you marry me?
Absolutely. We used to talk about everything.
Like that.
So it's important that you begin to see your spouse as your friend. For you to be able to communicate well. If your spouse is not your friend, if you're listening to this and your spouse is not your friend, begin to work on that. How can you become good friends? Because I tell you honestly, when the chips are down, this is the person who's got your back. And I mean got your back in the literal sense of it.
Yes.
They've got your back either to look after you well or to stab you hard in the back. So you need to really, really become friends with your spouse.
And people, as we are this, let me tell you, we're not only talking about marriage, we're talking about relationship. Whether you are just starting your own relationship or you are in a marriage. Whether you are in a marriage, you have been in a marriage, but you are no more in a marriage, but you are in a relationship now. Whether you are divorced, whether you are single, whether you are married, communication is important in any relationship that you are in. We have said it is good to know how to go about talking. bringing out your mind across to your spouse, across to your partner. And we have also been talking about listening. There's yet another thing we need to talk about while we're at communication. But we have said that communication is the oxygen of a relationship. Communication is the engine. Thank you very much, Folake Adenuga. Thank you very much. Jumi Matomi, you are still there. Lovely Bumi Breast. Thank you, my Garba, Wale Adenuga, Lina Nakodia Abubakar. Thank you very much for still staying with us.
Now, one other thing that really affects marriages is the fact that when communication is occurring, somebody wants to win. Somebody wants to win. So nobody, a big challenge is the fact that nobody wants to hands down and be the loser. I'm trying to tell you something, you must listen. No, you're trying to tell me something, but I understand what you're saying, and you must hear my point of view of what you're talking about. So nobody wants to lose. Communication is not about win or lose.
Thank you.
It's not about a winner.
And that's why I said, even when you are listening, do not listen to reply. Do not listen to respond. If you are actually listening, let me tell you, by the time the person stops talking, there will be a point of silence. In fact, there will be a point when the person will say,
did you not hear me?
Did you not hear me? And if you have been listening truly, that's the point where you will come back to say, I've actually been listening, yes.
I'm trying to process.
I've heard all that you said. And you might even sigh at that point and say, okay, that's because you have been listening. And you have been listening well. You have not been listening to respond. You have not been listening to reply. You have not been listening defensively. You have not been listening partly. You have been
take it in.
The response could be, I've not actually thought it that way before, or I need to think about this. And let me tell you, if at all you really, really, truly need to think about it, it doesn't have to be too long.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be to get to a point where the person will now think, I've talked in vain. Okay? You do not let anything that has happened there to happen in vain. So talk, listen. I want to briefly go to the last one, which is being truthful. Now,
that's a big challenge now.
Truthfulness. Truthfulness is something that has made communication to be a big, big problem. It has made communication a big problem. Now, people want to talk, but most times they talk half of the things. Most of the time, they don't say the real issue. And so, communication now has become a very big problem. For example, how do you say to your partner that actually I've been cheating on you? Actually, I've been cheating. When, the truth is you have been cheating. Okay? But how do you say that to your partner? When definitely the person you are going to say it to, will kill you. If it doesn't kill you immediately, might poison you. Or the next thing might be, I know they do again. I'm not going to be this.
It's all over.
It's all over. Okay? So that has made it difficult for people to communicate. So sometimes instead of communicating really, they are talking, but they are lying.
Or they're telling
half truth. Okay? So, and in truth, there is nothing like half truth. You're either lying or
telling the truth.
You're telling the truth.
Or they say they're telling a white
lie.
They say
they're telling a white lie. A white lie is still a lie.
It doesn't hurt anybody.
So, why did I bring this up? And how do we sort this out? Do you really want to communicate? Do you really want your husband, your wife to communicate with you? You have to have an open mind, a big heart. It's difficult. And that's why I said communication is big, big problem in relationship, in any relationship. And again, you see, the danger is this: even if you are not going to speak the truth will come out one day. And when it comes out, it will scatter the whole thing.
It will be worse than if you had spoken it yourself.
So let's just rewind. Let's come back to that time when I said that, when I started by saying that, what is it now? The thing just...
Is it the truth you were talking about earlier?
No, the truth. No, that's where we are. Okay, don't worry. It will come back to me. So being truthful is also important in communication. If somebody is talking to you and is saying this, I observed this, I observed that, and you are listening, you need to be truthful in your response. Have you taken it in truly? Are you truly guilty of what this person is saying? Instead of parrying it, instead of fending it off, instead of being defensive, instead of trying to look for, okay, how to cover up, you can be truthful in your response. And this will really, really help your relationship. If you look at all these three things that I've said, talking, listening, being truthful, these are the essentials. There are so many other things we could be talking about. You know, I said it in one seminar that we could treat communication for a whole week.
Yep.
We could do a whole week seminar.
And there will still be so much to
talk about.
Because there's so much involved in communication. I mean, just going back to what you talked about there, about being truthful. A lot of the times when people are either truthful or when people tell a situation, the response from the person who's been, I still don't want to use the word accused of doing something, but the other spouse who's guilty, who's supposed to be guilty of having committed an offense against the partner, then wants to quickly say something hurtful back to the partner.
Yeah.
Oh, you've said something to hurt me. What you said to me was hurtful. How could you accuse me of this? Even though the person did it, but just as a form of defense. Then they begin to find an even more hurtful way to speak to their spouse.
Okay, let me just say something about that.
It's a terrible one.
It's a very terrible one because we say we want to talk. At the end of the day, we might end up in conflict. Because what I'm saying, you find it hurtful, and the next thing is you want to say hurtful thing back to me. We're in conflict. And you know, the line of conflict, cause of conflict, is not determined by the hurtful thing I said to you when we are talking.
It's determined by my reaction.
Exactly. It's determined by your response. The way you respond to that thing that you find seemingly hurtful, and you throw a hurtful word back to me, then conflict starts.
Absolutely. A challenge though is, what if the person, for example, I just told the line of the example you're given here. If I said something to you and you found it hurtful, and then you find a hurtful expression to hit me back with, if you do not recognize that what you've said to me is equally hurtful, then it becomes difficult for me to tell you that you just hurt me.
And so let me tell you this, when I quickly come back to the talking, when I was talking about the difficulty in talking. To be able to communicate, you also need to learn how to talk to your partner so that the things you are saying are not hurting your partner. Because, you know, I've talked about the partner's response. We're all human beings.
Yes.
These are the things that make temper to flare. We begin to throw words at each other. When you are talking, especially if your partner has done something to you that you want to bring to the table, you want you guys to talk about, make sure that when you are talking, my wife said it before, talk about the issue, not your partner. Don't be using abusive words. Don't be saying, look, I want to talk to Ibadiara, for example, and I say, see, your stupid self. See, you're so stupid that, look, when that's hurtful. You're not talking. You're insulting her. You're insulting him.
Yeah.
You're abusing his sensibility. You're abusing her sensibility.
And like I always say, if you say your spouse is stupid, it means you're a stupid woman or man who married a stupid woman or man.
Yes.
It takes one stupid person to marry another stupid person. It comes back to you. So you have to think about what you say before you say it.
Yeah. So I'm just capping this out now because we're going to round up. It's only 1 hour. It's 1 hour seminar.
We've got 10 minutes.
We've got only 10 minutes more. You see, thank you very much, Lina, again. You talked about semi-revenge. Yes, That is when you throw word back.
Yeah.
You want to revenge. So you that is talking, let me start from you. Talk nicely. Go to the point. Address the issue. Bring the issue across. Bring up your point without insulting your partner. Don't let it even sound like accusation. Ibadero has been drawing away from using that word accuse. Don't let it sound like you're accusing somebody that you will now begin to look for a lawyer in himself to defend himself. Make it simple. Make it simple, darling. We went out this evening. When we went out, you were looking at me in a way that I didn't like it. Don't say you were looking at me stupid. It was so stupid of you. You were looking like you were drunk, or like you are mad, or like you don't have.
You were obviously drunk, and you were just looking at.
You were looking like a moron.
You're already on the war front, even in your expression.
That's not nice. We are saying start communication, start conversation, not start a war, not start a war of words. Let you guys want to talk. So that's darling. Darling. I don't think anybody will be offended by such a nice word.
If you call darling. That's another thing. We're going to talk about that one day. What you call your spouse.
Yes. Yeah, we'll call.
That's another topic for another day.
So, tenderly, when you're talking, remind this. Tenderness. Talk. Even though you are upset. Linda said men are captains of all homes. Many ladies should take this into consideration. Shola Anjorin said couples need to know their strengths in communication. This helps to know when I need to talk and keep quiet and listen in the communication on both sides. Yeah, I agree with that. But again, everybody has the right to talk and the right to listen and the right to be truthful. Absolutely. That's what I'll say. Everybody,
the right to be listened
to. So
everybody needs to be heard.
I appreciate it, Lena, when you said our men are captains of all homes. Many ladies should take this into consideration. I would also say this back that, look, it is good that our women are respecting us. They also deserve respect. They shouldn't be treated like, look, I'm the captain, so you should shut up. Every captain have if you are in the ship, you have co-pilots. Yeah. You have co-captain in the ship.
The ship
this is what I always say. In any ship, let me tell you, especially big ship, amazing ships like that, there are usually not only one captain. People say that there cannot be two captains in the ship, and I say no. It's only that the other captains, they are just relaxing back.
Yeah.
They are just relaxing there. They are leaving the captain who is in charge to continue with the voyage. But even the captain recognizes the fact that there are some other captains in the ship.
So work with him and are available to support him when he needs help.
So don't let us relegate such captains. And we have such captains, such greatness in our wives. Don't let us relegate them. Don't let us think, look, they must only listen to us. Oh, it's only the women. Because somewhere when we had a workshop, people said, I'm happy the way Lena even put it. Some women said, it's the men that will not listen. And some men said, it's the women that would always
talk too much.
And I said, let there not be any conflict about this. We all deserve to be listened to. We all deserve to be allowed to talk. Okay? And we all have to be truthful. We have only 6 more minutes to round up, and I can assure you that next time you are also going to enjoy it the same way if you have enjoyed it today at all.
Okay, very quickly, I just want to mention 1 or 2 things quickly. In terms of communication, there are some people, and I understand this from what Shola and Jory just said, that couples need to know their strength. Some people believe that certain people have the strength to speak and certain people have the strength to listen. Well, the truth is, if we truly want to enjoy a marriage where communication is, what's the word I'm looking for?
Where we know that communication is
where we have good communication.
Yes.
We need to learn how to speak well and listen well. There's no perfect listening skill where marriage is concerned.
And there's nobody who carries that skill.
Nobody carries that skill. You just have to learn to express yourself to your spouse, such that your spouse can listen to you. And nobody should know your spouse better than you and how to express to them.
And you also need to be able to encourage your spouse
to speak their mind.
Yes.
Now, for those of us who struggle to actually speak our minds, and for those who struggle to listen, one of the challenges we might face would be the challenge of assumption. We assume that we know what the issue is. We assume that we know what the person is going to say if we're going to speak anything. it's a dangerous thing. Assumption has killed a lot of marriages and is still killing a lot of marriages. Please do not assume. One of the things sometimes I say is a weakness, and Val says no, it's not a weakness. I ask a lot of questions. Sometimes I go as far as saying, look, I may be a bit dumb in asking this question.
That's why I say, stop saying you're not.
It says, stop saying you're dumb. You're not dumb. No, stop saying you're dumb. But the truth is, I ask a lot of questions, and I realize that in asking questions, I get answers. You know, what I'm not sure of, I ask. I want clarity. Ask questions. And the way you ask is very important. Ask with the mind to get an answer. Ask clearly. Be very clear in your question. Be specific in what you're saying. Don't beat about the bush. Some people will say, I was trying to find a way to tell him. You're wasting time. Not everyone has the attention lifespan of an old man who will sit there and has all the time in the world because he's old and he's got plenty of time to waste. You know, you have to speak to your partner as if you're speaking to a child. Well, I mean that in a good way, not that you're talking to a child, but I mean that you have to assume that time you have, the time frame is short.
You don't have to take forever.
Don't take forever.
And again,
lay the words right and be specific. Go to the point. Don't beat about the bush.
While you are saying about time, a lot of marriage counselors have said, timing is very important when you want to have a conversation, when you want to talk. But I say, okay, maybe at the beginning, timing might be very important. But let me tell you, as you go on and you get better in communication, as your communication gets better in the marriage, timing. Look, if you're going to talk about timing, precision, like she said, don't waste time, but that you will have to find a good time to talk. It means you are still learning.
I find it funny when people say, and I still said this to you a few days ago, when women say, oh, the best time to get my husband is when we're having sex.
They say that's the best time.
I believe they're grown-ups on this program. When we're having sex, that's the time. Oh my God, I choose them. Not with this man.
Not with me.
Forget it. There's no such thing. His head is very correct when the thing they do is doing.
Yes, now.
The bottom line is you have to understand your spouse.
Yes.
Once you understand your spouse, regardless of the time, you will know how. The how matters.
It matters.
How you lay the issue. We're running out of time. Somebody asked there, when is your next program? We're here from here on. We're here every Sunday at 4 p.m. Irish time. Every Sunday, 4 p.m. Irish time. And the plan then is to have a line where you can call us and ask questions. And we can answer you directly. There's so many people who would have loved to call and ask questions directly. So, next Sunday, 4 p.m. Irish time, we're here. We're back here.
And before we round up, let me also say get started with communications, good communications. We've talked about talking, listening, and being truthful. Don't expect that if you have not been having good communication, don't expect that it just happen overnight. You need to be gradual about it. You don't need to be fussy. You don't need to force communication down your throat. If you are still doing it like that, it means you have only started. Please get better in your communications. And as you get better, you will find out that you can just talk to each other anytime. And you can discuss good, important issues without getting into bed. Without waiting for that time when you get cozy. That is the worst time to discuss important issues. When you are getting cozy, and you are wrapping yourselves around each other, and you suddenly bring up, oh my good Lord.
Okay,
running out of time, yes.
We're going to give you an assignment. Every week we will give you an assignment.
Yes.
Right. So your assignment for this week, and you have to do it. And then you have to come back on the thread when you watch this video later and you play back. And all of your friends who you're going to share this week, let them also do the assignment as well. So your assignment this week then is on communication. You are going to find your own way. You can find the words as best you can of telling your spouse or your partner or your fiance, whoever it is you're with, of telling them of an issue that occurred and a way to relay that message to them without, one, being rude, without, two, using offensive adjectives to qualify them, and three, without actually forcing what you're saying down their throat.
Being respectful.
Being respectful in how you say it. So that's the assignment for this week.
Thank you very much.
And when you're talking, one of the things what you also come back is how you listen, how you did with listening when your spouse came back to you, or your partner or your fiance, how did you do with listening to what they were saying?
So we want feedback on that. We are rounding up now. We want feedback on that. And as we are going, we want you to continue to enjoy that thing you were hearing in the background, the music. You can now hear it a bit louder. And don't forget, from next Sunday, by God's grace, you will have the line that you can get us on, and you'll be able to speak to us. And if you have any question, you can send message in inbox. That's through
they
message.
Can send it on the thread. Actually,
yes. Well, they may have questions they don't want everybody to read. So just get inbox. And thank you very much for being with us.
All those. Deji Adenuga.
And this is Ibadiaron, Yemi Adenuga, my Ibadiaron of
life.
It's
been a pleasure. We're absolutely delighted you joined us today. For everyone who was able to join us, God bless you. God keep you. Yeah. May God's countenance shine upon you, and may He give you peace. Amen. God bless you. See you next week. And Bye-bye. Share this with your friends. Yeah. We love you plenty.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, I love that music.